Sam Rock Music YouTube channel, and welcome to part 2 of my review of the Beatles' self-titled double album, which is affectionately known as the White Album, released in November 1968. So I'm going to pick up where I left off with the part 1, and I'm going to get onto the songs on the second record. So the opening song on side 3, the side of the album which mainly features more rocking songs, is Birthday, which is an energetic number which has Paul shouting out the words, "You say it's your birthday, it's my birthday too, yeah," about a birthday party. Yeah, and it's a very rocking song, and I do usually play the song on my birthday, or I'll send it to people I know on my birthday, you know. And the day the Beatles recorded this song, The Girl Can't Help It was on television, a rock and roll movie from the 1950s, starring Little Richard, one of their heroes. So they kind of they rushed the session so they could go home and watch that. And of course, back in '68 there was no Sky Plus, so they couldn't just record it to watch later. So they did the backing track and recorded the vocals on Birthday. So following on is John's parody of the English blues rock scene of 1968, Year Blues. Written in India, the song is about how John felt on the visit, which must have been pretty bad considering the lyrics, "Yes, I'm lonely, wanna die." And John said in his 1970 interview with Rolling Stone, he meant the lyrics, you know, so basically, you know, honest lyrics. When it came to recording Year Blues, the band crammed into a small cupboard-sized room at Abbey Road Studio, so basically the tightness of the musicianship could be felt. So it's very much a band performance on the song, and as Ringo Starr recalls in the Beatles anthology, when he got back from after leaving the band for 2 weeks, they started on Year Blues. That's where the White Album really took off for him, you know. And there's a very raucous energy on the song, and I particularly like towards the end George's screeching guitar solo. That's very impressive playing towards the end of the song. And there's a version of this song, version of Year Blues, on the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus special, which is basically their answer to the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour. And there's a one-off band supergroup put together for that night called Dirty Mac, which included John Lennon, Eric Clapton on guitar, Keith Richards on bass, and Mitch Mitchell from the Jimi Hendrix Experience on drums. So that's a pretty good lineup, and that's a good version of the song. In fact, I'll put a link below in the bio. So we go along to Mother Nature's Son, Paul's song, which is a pleasant acoustic ballad inspired by a lecture the Maharishi gave in India. And the song is in the vein of Blackbird, you know, it's a nice acoustic song. It is quite similar to Blackbird, really. But it's a nice song, it is. So a return to the rockers of side 3 with Everybody's Got Something to Hide Except Me and My Monkey, which a song which is quite heavy in sound and heavy on the cowbell, really. I don't think it needs any more cowbell. And the monkey in the song could refer to heroin. John was on heroin at this time. It's a slang for the drug. There's not much meaning in the lyrics, really. But yeah, that's that song. So we go along to Sexy Sadie, a song John Lennon wrote as a dismissal of the guru Maharishi Mahesh Yogi after he heard rumours Maharishi was trying to exploit the Beatles for their money. And John wrote the song on the plane back to England from India, and the song was going to be called Maharishi, but George urged John to change the name to avoid lawsuits, so John called it Sexy Sadie instead. And yeah, it's a pretty good song, and the piano on the song, which kind of recurs throughout the song, was taken by Radiohead on their song Karma Police from '97, which is quite interesting. So we move along to Helter Skelter, a song which is the forerunner of heavy metal, and the heaviest song that the Beatles recorded, probably, yeah, most definitely the heaviest rocker that they recorded. And the number shows that Paul McCartney could rock just as much, or in the case of this song, even more so than John Lennon sometimes, you know. And the song is pretty chaotic, sound-wise, energy-wise, from start to finish, and it doesn't relent throughout the song, really. And while on the subject of this song, Helter Skelter, it's hard to avoid the fact that the notorious murderer Charles Manson was influenced by the song. with the killing of actress Sharon Tate in 1969. And he played the White Album to his followers. Obviously, he wasn't right in the head or anything, and he thought the Beatles were the four horsemen of the apocalypse. And obviously, as I said, he wasn't right in the head. It wasn't the Beatles' fault that Manson did that. But there is that relation to Helter Skelter there. And at the end of the song, quite amusingly, Ringo Starr shouts out, "I've got blisters on my fingers," after, I suppose, drumming so aggressively on the song, right? That's quite funny. We move along to an incredibly different song, following on from Helter Skelter, the chaos of Helter Skelter, I suppose. George Harrison's very quiet song, Long, Long, Long. And it really is a quiet song. I mean, you have to turn the volume up loud to hear the quality of the song, when you see how good the song is, hear how good the song is, really. And George wrote this song, he said, as a love song to God, not for his first wife, Pattie Boyd. And it is an underappreciated song. It doesn't get talked about maybe as much as some of the other songs. And Paul plays the organ on this song, which gives the song a haunting quality almost. And yeah, it's kind of a mysterious song in that respect. And my cousin who watches my videos, Barry Williams, pointed out a few years ago that the chord structure on this song is quite similar to Bob Dylan's Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands, which is pretty interesting. And there's a weird ending to the song. Paul had a wine bottle which he balanced on top of an amplifier, and George started wailing, and Ringo started doing a drum roll, and put together it just gives an unusual end to the song. So that's interesting. John didn't play on the song, by the way. So, starting off side 4 of the album, the final side of the White Album, is John's Revolution number 1, the slow version of the song Revolution. Of course, there's the faster hard rocking version, which is called Revolution, which appeared as the B-side of Hey Jude in August 1968. By the way, 2 songs also recorded during the White Album sessions, Hey Jude and Revolution, which didn't end up on the album. They were put out as a B-side instead. So yeah, this slow version is very bluesy and smooth, and the first song to be recorded during the sessions. Although I prefer the faster version, the hard rockin' Revolution. This version is quite enjoyable, and the laid back vibe is not bad. It's pretty good, And the lyrics are just about the political climate of '68, quite a turbulent year with the student demonstrations and political upheaval and the death of Martin Luther King Jr. as well. So following on from Revolution number 1 is Honey Pie, Paul's 20s style dancehall tune, which is a whimsical song, kind of in the vein of When I'm 64. The song is fine, it's a catchy tune, inoffensive really, and it's a pretty nice song. So we go along to Savoy Truffle, George Harrison's 4th and final song on the White Album. He had 4 songs on the album, a record for George, 1 on each side of the album. Written about his friend Eric Clapton's addiction to chocolate and sweets, and basically the lyrics mention chocolate from the Good News chocolate box, Montélimar, coffee dessert, yes, it's good news, and that's pretty much what the lyrics are. And it is a catchy song, pretty good song. So we go along to Cry Baby Cry, a song I suppose kind of mysterious in tone, and it's hard to make out what the lyrics mean. I don't think there's supposed to be much meaning on the song, but there's lines like the Duchess of Kirkcaldy always smiling and arriving late for tea, which is quite a cryptic line, but it could be something to do with the fact John liked Lewis Carroll and Alice in Wonderland books when he was younger, so that could be something to do with that. But the lyrics are quite mysterious, quite cryptic, and there's an outtake called Can You Take Me Back from the White Album sessions, which is edited on the end of this song, and there's kind of a mysterious feel on that, which fits in well as the lead in into the next song. So it's good that they put that at the end of this song, Can You Take Me Back, and the next song is Revolution number 9. So where do I begin with this one? Certainly the most controversial and polarizing track, I don't know if you can call it a song, but that the Beatles released in their career. It's 8 minutes long. It's the longest track they released. And it's an experimental piece, heavily influenced by Yoko Ono, who herself was an avant-garde artist. Avant-garde, by the way, is French for new art, by the way, for those who don't know. And it's the weirdest, it's probably the weirdest thing the Beatles released. It's 8 minutes of John, George, and at times Yoko shouting random words and phrases. There's various tape loops, various sound effects. There's orchestral overdubs taken from A Day in the Life on the song as well, from Sgt. Pepper album. And yeah, it's just this very strange piece of music. I say 8 minutes long. And Paul McCartney and George Martin, the producer, desperately didn't want to put it on the album, and John had to kind of persuade them, in the control room that, oh yeah, I want this on the album. So I know some people who do hate this song, or track, or piece of music, but I think it's interesting and it's different, and I suppose it adds to the quirkiness of the White Album, really. But maybe not something I can listen to every day, to be honest. But that takes us along to the final song on the album, Good Night, which is comes after the craziness of Revolution Number 9. Ringo kind of calms us down with almost like a lullaby, singing good night to the listeners, of the White Album. And it's just a very soothing, nice song, nice way to end the album. And I'm going to finish off by saying about when it came to mixing and choosing the running order of the album in October '68, there was a 24-hour recording session, the longest ever Beatles recording session, and John Lennon and Paul McCartney chose the running order. Of course, fantastic sequencing with a variety of styles, with every song sounding different. I think George and Ringo were on holiday, so they weren't at the session. So the White Album, that's the two-part review I've given for the album, and overall I can give it a 10 out of 10 because there's some amazing songs on the album. I understand not everything is amazing on it, but just the variety of styles of music and the fact that there's so much on it. There's 30 tracks and every song sounding different, and as I described in part 1, a myriad of musical styles. I can give it a 10 out of 10 overall because I have great memories of the album. It's the first Beatles album I bought back in 10 years now, back in 2011. So that's my review of the White Album by the Beatles, double album, released in November 1968. So as usual, I'd like to say thank you for watching, and feel free to like, share and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.